Hey guys, welcome to the Worthless Scrapper. So, I'm gonna take this 75-pound AC compressor apart. I forgot what this came out of. I think it might have been an ice maker from McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
Not sure. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. This thing's a heavy beast. So first, what I'm gonna do is cut this copper pipe off and take the electrical connections off. So let's put this right up here on the edge and hit it a few times. Just like that. Probably should use a sledgehammer. Oh, I was cutting through the steel. Dang. And get this off. And there you go. I don't know if you guys seen this in some of my videos, me walking past it. So I made this from a bunch of different pieces of scrap. This was like a drain table from a restaurant.
Nice.
What I have is a bucket down here. So I have a bucket and it drains the oil into that bucket. And I had taken this top piece and attached it to a little cart, and it fit perfectly into it, and then I added a piece of wood to hold the compressor. And what I do is I just drill a hole in the bottom, set it up here, and I'll do a few of them at a time, let them drain, and then we go on to the plasma cutting. You want to make sure that the hole is not facing down. So I'll keep that hole up. And then what I do is drill straight through the middle. I have a step drill bit. Seems to work really well. You got a little hole right there. Pick it up. Set it down. Let's see if I can get a view of the oil. See the oil coming out. And it just drains down into that. Nice and simple. It's very, very handy little thing I made, and it rolls too, so I can move it wherever I want. Yeah, I'm gonna let that drain, and we're gonna go open up the new present. All right, it's like Christmas over here. I got two packages. First one I'm gonna open up is the plasma cutter. Now this box was a little damaged. Amazon delivered it. Hopefully it works, unlike the rocket from the other day. Anyway, get this out of here. I mean, it probably isn't damaged. It has this thick stuff on it. Now this plasma cutter supposedly can do 4 different things. It can cut up to 1/2 inch thick steel. It can cut a grid pattern. So if you have like a mesh screen or something, it will cut through it without starting and stopping. And it can gouge, so if you want to gouge out like a bad weld or something, you can gouge it out and re-weld it. And then it also can engrave metal, so like if you wanted to mark this table or something with graffiti, you could do that. Now I bought this with my own money. I'm not sponsored, so I'm not boasting about anything. We're going to see if this thing really works. I have the same brand. It's a 4-in-1, the MIG, stick, tick, and plasma. And I like it. It's just the plasma cutter, this one has a totally new redesigned handle torch, and it runs off like so. The air, it has a spring in there, and it will, you don't have to be touching the metal to create an arc. So we're going to test that out, because those sealed units are a pain to get started because it's all thick paint on it. So when you have a drag tip like that one did, it just, we're going to find out if this is better. Got our ground. Here's the torch. So this This is the new redesigned thing. I guess there's like a spring in there, and this is a tool that you can use to replace the tips. And this can run off 110 or 220. You got this adapter plug right here. The other one came with it too, so I'm kind of familiar with this brand and how it works. I'm gonna match this little slot up. Screw it on like that. We'll take our ground. And there you are. Basically ready to go. They already have a filter here. You can just plug your air right into it. So there's that. Test that out. It does come with one replacement tip. I wish it came with more. They're not cheap. Alright. And then here, I should have bought this a long time ago, because I've been running that one off the 110 and blowing my breakers down in the basement. Because my only 220 outlet's over there on that wall. And I don't like doing stuff in the garage because all the smoke and whatnot. So I bought this 40-foot extension cord for a plasma cutter. This thing is heavy, man. There's probably a lot of copper. It's 8-gauge wire. Made by the same company. So now I can run that outside and not have to run it off 110. You can adjust the amps with this knob right here. I'm going to leave it at 45 amps. It goes up to 65 and down to 20. So I'll just leave it at 45. I think that's what I had it at. Now to adjust the PSI, you got this pressure gauge back here. And you can open and close it and it'll display what the current PSI is at. So this wand I was telling you about, the torch, you pull the trigger. You don't even have to have it grounded to anything. Kind of crazy. So I have this magnet clip I had bought a while back. I haven't used it yet. And eventually I'll probably attach the ground wire to it. But I can get that to hold on there a lot better than trying to find somewhere to clip onto on these round cylinders. So I'm just gonna clip it on here like this. And I was thinking about actually attaching like a spring to it. I'm gonna custom make this table more. I made this table so far off of scrap.
Whoa!
It's just a turntable. I'm gonna attach a plate here and add a motor with a belt. Get rid of this handle and I can adjust the speed of the rotation. Plus you can hold the table and crank this and it will raise and lower it however you want. So we're gonna give this a shot with this new plasma cutter. See how it works out. I'll let it cool down. I mean, there's a couple spots I missed, but the sledgehammer takes care of that. I'm gonna go put some different gloves on real quick and we'll get this apart. I got the welding gloves on. Alright, what I'm gonna do is just throw this down that cardboard because there is residual oil left in this thing. There you go. Broke it right apart. Wow, that plasma cutter works a lot better than the other one. Oh man. So then we got our copper motor right there. Okay, it's an E8 socket. I had to find that. All the ones were in this case except for the one I needed, of course. So I also have latex gloves or vinyl gloves over my regular gloves so they don't get oil on them. Let's get this apart. Alright. Now, that's not copper, it's just plated to look like copper. And there's nothing really left inside of that. There's some aluminum on here. Not worth trying to cut it off. Slippery little suckers. There we go. And there is our copper motor. Hopefully copper. I'm going to find out here in a second. Now, what I'm going to do is I set this on some cardboard overnight, and most of all the oil would get pulled out of the windings, and then I can cut them off. Made in Mexico. Might be aluminum. We'll find out. So it's the next morning. Got the motor sitting here. I had it on this piece of cardboard and it soaked up a ton of oil, and I switched it over to this one and it sat here for a couple hours. So the windings are pretty dry. Not as bad as it could have been or would have been and should have been. But anyway, yeah, just put it on cardboard. It soaks it up and it keeps drawing it out, so you don't ruin your gloves and make a mess all over everything. So I'm going to cut these wires real quick just so they don't get in the way of the machine blade coming down. And now we're going to check this to see if it's copper or aluminum. More than likely it's copper. I take an angle grinder. It's red. That's copper. That's good. I don't think they would make big motors like this out of aluminum. Not sure though. Haven't really ran into them. Most sealed units, I've found maybe 1 in 10 have aluminum windings or a mix of aluminum and copper windings. So I'm going to cut this end off that has all the wiring on it, and then I'll pull the other end out. It just makes it easier to clean up because my scrapyard will not take it with the string on there. Sometimes these strings pull apart really easily. Other times you got to snip each one, and it's kind of a pain. But throw this up here and start cutting. I always get nervous turning this on. I don't know why. Power up. So with these windings, sometimes you can find a string and pull on it and they'll all come apart. These feel pretty brittle. I don't know if that's going to work. Let's see if I can grab this string in here. There we go. Nope, that one broke. Yeah, these ones are all pretty brittle. You can just take and snip them all off. Work your way around. The oil doesn't help either, it makes it slippery. Like that. You got your nice clean copper. Let me clean this up. We'll weigh this up in a second. I wish my scrapier didn't make me do this. This is what takes the longest. Some people are lucky where they live. Get to take them in this way. That's like melted on there from the plasma cutter. Alright, that one's done. So I'm going to finish getting this one apart. This has a lot of string on it. It's kind of boring to watch me do that. Anyway, I'm going to weigh this copper up, see the percentage of copper by weight to the sealed unit. Alright, so I got the scale and a little bowl here. Let's tear that out. Looks like we have 4 pounds, 11.3 ounces. I don't have my phone on me. I'll put it up on the screen here real quick. But it's probably close to $25 worth. Plus the $7.70 I'll get for the steel. So, I don't know if it's worth your time doing them. It is to me because I have this wonderful machine right here. This thing is a lifesaver. I think I did 500 pounds of motors and 500 pounds of copper from motors in less than one and a half days. So it was worth it. That plasma cutter worked out really good. I'm very happy with it. Can't wait to try it on the rest of my sealed units. I have 100 or more of them. I was just going to wait and do them all in one big video once I get the driveway cleaned up a little bit. I have a lot going on, so a lot to do, and I'm by myself and doing all this editing and stuff. I'm doing this on my cell phone too. I don't have a computer, so I hope you guys appreciate the editing. So yeah, here's a little copper for the day. Well, not even a day, just anyway. I appreciate you guys watching, and I will catch you on the next one.